Reactions trail President Tinubu's engagement in Brazil.
Train services suspended along Abuja-Kaduna Road as passengers derailed train at Ashama are rescued.
NSA officially hands over 128 rescued kidnapped victims to families.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss fallouts of the PDP NEC meeting. Demola, you're looking smashy. You're looking dapper.
Thank you.
I love the blue.
Thank you. You're looking good too. Gorgeous.
Trying my best.
All right. The 102nd meeting of the PDP's National Executive Council was one of the most anticipated political gatherings in recent times.
Absolutely, absolutely. The party bigwigs showed up in full force, if I may say so, with the mood centered on, of course, closing rates and setting a new direction.
Yeah, a new direction. The newly confirmed national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagu, set the agenda right from the start, urging members to put the party's interest above personal ambition.
And that's, of course, with the elective convention coming up in Ibadan on the 15th and 16th of November. And, of course, the 2027 general elections already in sight. Now, he also stressed the need for unity among all parties.
Yeah, he did. And a major highlight was the decision to zone the party's presidential ticket to the south, a move that mirrors the APC's position with President Bola Tinubu already adopted as its sole candidate for 2027.
Wow, now the communique released by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, laid out the resolutions. INEC, he says, endorsed the zoning committee's recommendations. Now, this means that existing offices stay where they are.
So, northern offices remain in the north, southern offices remain in the south.
And with the chairmanship retained in the north, the 2027 presidential slot has now been officially reserved for the south.
NEC also asked regions to micro-zone positions, received progress reports on constitutional amendments, and confirmed Ambassador Damagu as substantive national chairman until the Ibadan Convention. Claire.
Well, you can always expect the unexpected. In an unexpected twist, the council chose reconciliation over punishment for those accused of anti-party activities, including, of course, the G5 governors.
A reconciliation path is better, they say. And now some have asked if all wounds have truly been healed in the PDP. What's the party real strategy for 2027 beyond zoning? Our guest will be joining us shortly to speak to these issues. Welcome to the program. I am Ademola Adeoye.
Demola, it's not just what it portends for the party, it's also what it portends for 2027 general elections and for Nigerians, and most importantly, for our democratic progress. Is this the beginning of internal crisis, within parties?
Do you think there will ever be an end to internal crisis
within
political
parties
in Nigeria?
Well, we're not politicians. We may not see, what is behind the curtain. But what is before us is that the skies may be clear.
A lot of intrigues are going on behind the curtain, so you don't know.
Exactly.
Anyway,
so, yes.
Claire.
All right. Welcome to Good Morning Nigeria. I am Claire Adilabu Abdul Razak. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on the network service of the NTA. A. Of course, our usual segments will come one by one. We'll be starting off in a moment with the news with Stella in Amity. And Chuxtaboy will be joining us much later for the news. I already see Stella. Stella, you can't wait to take the news. Please go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, Claire and Ademola. It's quite a package. Yeah. Today's Good Morning Nigeria. Thank you. Passengers of the derailed train at Ashama en route Abuja-Kaduna bound have been successfully rescued by joint efforts of emergency responders.
The train derailed some few minutes after 11 in the morning, and the MD immediately got in touch with the ministry. The Honorable Minister directed that I should go to the site and assess the situation, evaluate, and see how I could move the victims out of the place. We got there, and there was serious interagency collaboration.
The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has launched a comprehensive investigation into the derailment of a Kaduna-bound train service that occurred on Tuesday, August 26, 2025, at approximately 11:09 a.m. between Kuba Station and Assam Station. Director, Public Affairs and Family Assistance, Bimbo Olawumi Oladeji, confirms that 6 persons sustained injuries and no fatalities reported. She said the Bureau will conduct a thorough inquiry to determine the cause of the incident and provide recommendations to prevent future occurrences, with updates to be provided as the investigation progresses. Key stakeholders have been commending President Bola Tinubu's engagements in Brazil, which have led to signing of bilateral agreements with the host government. Series of talks between leaders of both countries in the last 1 year have resulted in agreements to enhance cooperation in 5 major areas. Speaker, Nigeria's House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, who is part of the Nigerian delegation in Brazil, lauded the president's efforts at improving Nigeria's diplomatic ties with countries of the world.
In selling Nigeria to the international world.
From what we discussed during bilateral meetings, we're looking at over $30 billion investment.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has approved a 6-month temporary ban on the export of raw shea nut to curb informal trade and boost local processing. Vice President Kashim Shettima announced the president's directive during a multi-stakeholder meeting at the presidential villa. The federal government has announced a 46% decline in variant poliovirus cases compared to the same period last year, with a renewed target of achieving 0 cases by December 2025. This was revealed by the Executive Director and CEO of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aino, during the quarterly review meeting of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Primary Healthcare Delivery held in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu is to officially unveil Nigeria's revised national counter-terrorism strategy in October, following an extensive review process designed to align the nation's security framework with emerging threats. The National Coordinator, National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Garba Laka, announced this at the 3rd quarter stakeholders meeting of NAC test in Abuja. The revised strategy was enriched through consultations and validation by relevant agencies, local and international partners. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has handed over 128 rescued kidnapped victims, including children, to their families. While handing over the victims, the NSA urged Nigerians not to politicize security issues and support ongoing drive to further secure the nation. Retired Police Personnel Association from the southwestern part of the country are clamoring for the withdrawal of their members from the contributory pension scheme across the country. The agitation was carried out at a meeting with the leadership of the National Pension Commission in Lagos. Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is confident of transforming and leading the agencies under his watch, including the Voice of Nigeria as a pro-Nigeria and pan-African station dedicated to telling the positive stories coming out of Nigeria and the African continent. The minister reaffirmed this in a message at the flag-off for the restoration of Voice of Nigeria's shortwave transmission using the 250 kilowatt superpower transmitter. And that's the news for now. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Ademola and Claire after this break. Good morning.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we undoubted demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we have more than destination. We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Nivea Black and White Deodorant, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 cities in 3 days and no fear of sweat and odor. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain and odor protection. Nivea Black and White Deodorant. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
Have you been aspiring to be a student of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University Zaria to no avail? Worry no more, as you can gain entry through NTA Television College Jos, an affiliate of the renowned Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where eligible candidates with a JAMB admissible scores of not less than 180 and 100 scores, and with 5 credits O-level in social sciences, including English and mathematics, can turn their passion in broadcasting to profession by applying for a BSc in Mass Communication and MBTE approved innovation diploma courses in film and television production, broadcast journalism and television engineering respectively. The college, as a training hub with a pedigree of professionalism in the media space, also offers specialized courses in other related fields. For more information, visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or contact 08033 834-343 and 08069-809-897. Announcer Management.
We're not in a romantic relationship, we're in a dash.
Brotherly relationship.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah, very bad boy.
No. Family relationship.
Who be your family?
Situationship.
Are you in a situationship?
It is well.
Survey says... Hey!
Onenge is my girlfriend.
You want dodge? Thank God. Say I hacked. An oversized shirt is okay to wear, but an oversized dash isn't.
Skirts.
Bro.
Shop. Wow.
Pants.
Whoa. Name something you add to your text to make them more interesting.
Emojis.
Stickers. Pictures.
The way my back at the breathe, at the yara.
Gifts.
Survey says.
My birthday.
All right, welcome back, and you're right on time for the newspaper review segment. Coming up in just a moment.
Well, our newspaper reviewer, Chukwudi Okoli Ubaja, is here. Chooks, good morning.
How are you, Demo? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Whoever didn't leave early this morning might meet the rain. You know,
Is it raining right
it was threatening. It was quite cloudy
It
when I was
was.
driving in.
Oh.
Claire, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good morning.
As clear.
Oh, yeah. Everything is clear about Claire. Okay?
You don't start this one, huh? Okay.
You know, I also remember Sonny Rabo. Sonny Rabo would say, do not stare at Claire or the dresses she wears.
Our big brother.
Anyway, let's get on with the newspaper review. And I'm starting with the blueprint. The blueprint has on its front page, no hiding place for criminals terrorizing Nigerian citizens. This is from Ribadu. Hands over 128 rescued captives to Zamfara government. Governor Nasri commends security agencies on resilience, and Bamawi terror suspects warned over absence in court. No hiding place for criminals terrorizing Nigerian citizens. Ribadu. 2027. ADC attacks APC, PDP over zoning. Silent on Atiku's ambition. That's politics. Now, Benue Assembly suspends sacked Speaker Hyacinth Dajo. And there's also story trending there. It's on business. Dangote Cement marks International Youth Day at Obajana. Okay, let us look at 6 injured in Abuja Kaduna train accident. NSIB begins probe. ASU protest gives federal government August 28th deadline for full-blown strike. That's from the blueprint. Let's also quickly take a look at Business Nigeria. Business Nigeria is speaking more business this morning, and it says 5 years, 45 Nigerian companies, no dividend. And Japan denies visa plan, says it's cultural exchange, not immigration. It's cultural exchange, not immigration. Oil state slash 611 billion naira debt. Rivers borrows the more. Rivers borrows more. Oh, Rivers borrows more. CBN sets October 2025 deadline for banks, POS operators, and others to upgrade to ISO 20022. And Nigeria becomes Africa's second largest solar importer as demand surges. Let me quickly take this last two before Demola comes in. CBN raises OMO yields to attract foreign inflows. Kanu government dismisses 6.5 billion naira diversion claim. And finally, manufacturers fume as government reintroduces 4% FOB free on board fee on imports. That story is on page 2. Demola.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. I have the Blueprint newspaper, and just below the nameplate, we have Benue Assembly suspends sacked Speaker Hyacinth Dajo. Details of that story can be found on page 10. Then we have on business, Dangote Cement marks International Youth Day at Obajano. Details on page 22. And on sports, Atletico Madrid in touch with Atalanta over Lookman transfer. Details of that story can be found on page 32. 2027, ADC attacks APC PDP over zoning, silent on Atiku's ambition. Then we have the major headlines, which reads, no hiding place for criminals terrorizing Nigerian citizens, Ribadu, as he hands over 128 rescued captives to Zamfara government. Governor Nasil commends security agencies on resilience and others. Then below we have 6 injured in Abuja Kaduna train accident. NSIB begins probe. NEMA assesses damage. Ubasani commiserate with victims. Details of that story can be found on page 8. And ASU protest gives federal government August 28 deadline for full-blown strike. Details of that story can be found on page 6 and 9. And all that. Okay. So
yeah, you have, or you had taken it. ADC is attacking APC and the PDP over zoning of the presidency to the south. This one, it has got to cross-party accusations. I thought every party had the right to do what it wanted to do. Anyway, the bottom line is...
That's politics.
No, that's politics. That's politics. The bottom line is that each political party has a right to decide what to do with its candidates and all that. But the kind of a Babel of... Tower of Babel, discordant voices coming from those quarters. It doesn't quite tell you that they are ready to contest.
Well,
people tell me it's my opinion, but I tell people you have to show you're ready by behaving like somebody who's ready.
How?
Chubudi, listen.
Yes.
It says, why berating the two parties for the decision? The Senator David Mark-led ADC tagged the move as insensitive to the plight of Nigerians.
Which Nigerians? The sampled opinion. Well, David Mark is a man I respect a lot.
But the same,
yes.
But the same David Mark was in PDP when they were doing the zoning south and north.
Yes.
When he was Senate President. Have you forgotten?
Of course, yes. I've not forgotten. And
can you read in between the lines? What is he actually saying?
I've not read it, sorry, fully. You pushed me into speculation, so let's not go there. The only thing I know is that I remember saying several times there that David Mark is a man I respect a lot. When Goodluck Jonathan was contending with the anti-petrol subsidy removal movement, and Nigeria was quaking, so to speak, David Mark came back from a medical trip abroad and said at the airport, everything will be over in 48 hours. Come return to Nigeria after 24 hours. I never forget that. I like people who sound like statesmen. But now he's talking like a politician. I don't quite locate the reasoning in it. Exactly, but maybe when I read it thoroughly, I'll get to know.
But he's a politician, so
yes.
He has to sound like a politician.
What we're interested in is, fine, the more the merrier. You're giving us a wide range of choice. Anyway, but I do know that some people are not sounding so very ready.
Yes.
So very ready.
No hiding place for criminals, terrorists, and Nigerian citizens. This is coming from Roberto. Is he saying something new?
He has not said something new. But he has told you that 128 rescued captives were handed over to Zamfara government. It helps the psychological war against terrorism. It tells you that our security forces are not on the back foot concerning, getting into the theater of a confrontation with these people. And that helps messaging as well. It tells Claire and Chukwudi that we're not close to hope being lost in terms of fighting the insurgents and the bandits. So he's talking well. And the governor, that's Governor Nassi, is commending the agencies for what he calls resilience. Because the way these people are coming, it is enough to tire out our security forces. But they are still showing gallantry in the face of all these. That's why I look at it.
I think also approaching this matter, from different, angles. And a particular angle is stopping arms proliferation. And for us to be able to achieve that, we must align our institutional mechanism properly with the regional, mechanism that's already in place.
Yes.
Right now, what we are operating under the center, is for some, scholars, it's an ad hoc structure without the, full complementarity of, the ministries and things that they need to do.
You've done the too much. What you're saying is that we are not showing enough cohesion at the regional level.
Yes.
And the Mali, Burkina Faso, all those, they don't help matters at all. So sometimes you think we are shooting ourselves in the foot. When we say, hey guys, we are not going to interfere in the kind of government to introduce in your country, you are also telling them that what you do in Mali or Burkina Faso also percolates into the West African basket. Know that. So we have to all think. They say all for one, one for all. You understand?
Absolutely.
So that is the point. There must be cooperation on regional terms for these things to work out well.
Yes,
That is
and
why
of course our borders.
That's why they're pulling out of some countries from ECOWAS is not good for the regional security.
We're saying the same thing, really.
So
it is not good for us.
Anyway.
We must begin to also, sorry, Birimola, properly carry out surveillance of those borders. There are more than 1,800 porous borders across Nigeria, unmanned borders.
That continues to be.
Do we have enough officials to do that?
No, it's not officials now.
No, Demola, I don't think approaching it from that angle is going to help us a lot. We must always think from the point of view that it can be done.
Precisely.
In business administration, they talk about the can-do spirit. We must always have it. We know that we are shortchanged in terms of number of boots on the ground. You're quite right. But if we start with that, if we start from that level of thinking or that form of thinking.
Maybe we have to employ technology for this.
Exactly. You see, you're proffering solutions now. There are drones. Do you know that even Trump is surprised what drones are doing in war now? America is surprised what they discovered that drones can do in war. Ukraine is actually becoming one of the, they say necessity is the mother of invention because they have a war. They are pushed into innovation and all that. So you are proffering solutions already. That is how to go about it.
Okay, Chukwudi, before we let you go, let's look at the train derailment yesterday.
The mishap here.
Yes, at the
Abuja Kaduna.
Yes, end of the Abuja Kaduna train corridor. And the MD of Nigeria Railway Corporation said a moment ago in our news that he was directed
to go directly to
go. Yes. And I'm asking, should he have been directed? I mean, it was obvious that he should have done
You're thinking that going to the spot should be spontaneous.
I mean,
but of course, there's a hierarchy, there's a bureaucracy in some of these things. So if that is how he wants to put out the message that took him there promptly, let him be, please. It's messaging.
But let's look at the event, the accident itself.
But the most important thing is no one died. They just reported 6 injured and they're being treated. Very important. The next thing you do now is what caused it? We pray that there is no hanky-panky somewhere. Very important. So we must get to the root. We must get to the root of what caused the derailment.
And how prompt was the response to the accident?
No, I think it was prompt.
Yes,
it was fairly prompt.
It was fairly
That's
prompt.
exactly what the official you mentioned was re-echoing.
Yes, he had to leave Lagos yesterday. Immediately.
Yes.
In fact, when we called him, when NTA called him, he was already on his way from Lagos to the airport.
Even apart from him, what should also matter to us as Nigerian people is the incidents of first responders. It doesn't have to be the official himself. The first people, the Red Cross, what's this brigade, the civil defense and all that, we have to train them to the point that...
Before we leave, because the director is already
It's
signaling
okay.
that we should sign up, I just want us to appeal to this ASU protest, that giving the federal government a deadline, August 28th, that's Thursday. Today's 27th.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. So probably we should just, so that we don't have the repeat of...
The unfortunate thing is that the ASU matter has become a case of not if, but when. It's not
sad.
If they will go. It is when they will go. And that kind of trivializes the entire thing. I pray they find a solution and stop this incessant. It doesn't make sense to me anymore.
It doesn't.
And you want our children to have a seamless education. It doesn't work that way.
It's time for you to go.
I know it's time to be kicked out. And I'll gladly leave. I feel cold already anyway.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you for your contribution this morning.
Good guys. Thank you so much.
To see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll just kickstart our conversation for this morning. Stay with us.
Are you ready? Join us on Reshaping Democracy, a groundbreaking program on the network service of the NTA, where citizens get the chance to ask ministers, heads of ministerial departments, agencies, and other top government officials questions on their performance and delivery of mandates. With no sector of limits, conversations build around bridging communication gaps for feedback and effect as our guests engage with the people they serve.
How does ND foster partnerships with organizations, government agencies, NGOs, among others?
As our leaders give account to citizens' inquiries on good governance, tune in to Reshaping Democracy, a creative concept coming up every Tuesday evening at 10:05 p.m.
This is Reshaping Democracy.
The counsel of our fathers.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
The business environment, to be honest with you, has been extremely hard on most Nigerian women's businesses, and of course harsh for a number of reasons. There is no way you would increase or move subsidy and increase the price of fuel that it doesn't have the counter effect. It has been very challenging for so many women. I know that a lot of them have cried in one way or the other to us to find ways of intervening. But that is not to say that it is all doom and gloom. We will still have a few percentage of women that are thriving in this economy, but we hope that we'll be able to get a larger percentage. One of the things I've seen with even our local purchases now is that people are buying more made in Nigerian options of food, of clothing, and so on and so forth than the imported. So that again is helping some of our industries thrive. Surprisingly, the telecommunications is still doing well, and the reason is very simple. A lot of people are going for online options of skills in terms of training, communications, even remote working. And so you will see that people that provide services around those areas also thrive. But I think at the end of the day, it's about partnerships, collaboration, and influencing power from especially the private sector and even the public sector. But we really need the public sector to drive a number of things, especially policies, because the public sector has the national spread above even whatever we can do in our own small way. What has happened over the years is that even the government, for example, is being pulled from different angles by all these stakeholders. We need to harness ourselves to have strategic focus areas, and we should all be moving in the same direction, not using a competitive approach, but a collaborative approach. Secondly, in collaboration, we need to move with large clusters of decision makers. Instead of, the process of reaching out to individuals is painstakingly long and it takes time. And so we need to engage these stakeholders on a larger platform. I think it's very important to identify where you can get help in your own little way. And one of the things I've realized is that when you operate in silo, it is difficult for you to lift yourself out of the situation. Identify ways you can do what you are doing in a simpler way. And if what you are doing is no more profitable, why not find out what can you do in the meantime that will help you? You need to think outside the box and then connect. What you can do is also identify people and become a cluster to provide a service that ordinarily you cannot do alone.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Before we delve into our conversation this morning on the outcome of the PDP's NEC meeting, let's take this background report by Oyeyemi Ajayi.
It was one of the most anticipated political gatherings, the 102nd National Executive Council meeting of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The party stalwarts from across the country converged with one mission in mind: to mend fences and chart a clear path forward. Setting the tone, the new national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagun, made members understand why they must put the party above personal ambition, stressing that the PDP is at a critical turning point. With the elective national convention in Ibadan set for November 15th and 16th and the 2027 elections already on the horizon, Damagun said the stakes couldn't be higher. A major highlight of the meeting was zoning. The PDP officially zoned its 2027 presidential ticket to the south, shutting the door against a northern candidate in the next election. At the same time, conversations around the women empowerment took center stage, with party leaders acknowledging that women have always been backbone of the PDP and must be given greater recognition in its vision for the future. And in a surprising twist, rather than wielding the stick, NEC leaned towards reconciliation. Members accused of anti-party activities, including the G5 governors, are being drawn back into the fold, not pushed out. But the big question is, has true reconciliation been achieved, or are cracks still beneath the surface? And beyond zoning, what's the real game plan for the PDP as it tries to reposition itself for 2027? Our guests will be speaking to these burning issues shortly.
I like the question, what's the game plan? Well, with politicians, you can never really tell the game plan. You can only, as Chukwudi will say, speculate. But this morning, we will be speaking to the issue. Of course, those who know will give us insights into what exactly PDP is up to. So let me welcome the guest who is with us here in the studio, Timothy Osadolo, who is the Deputy National Youth Leader of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and we are glad to have him. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
And also joining us, Dr. Abdulrahman Abu Hamisu is a political scientist and public affairs analyst. He'll be joining us via Zoom.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Good morning to you too, Dr. Amisu. Also joining us via Zoom from Uganda is Dr. Rauf Sakariau. Is of the Department of Political Science, Islamic University in Uganda. Dr. Rauf, you're welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning to you. Now, let's kickstart our conversation this morning with Osadolo in the studio. Leader. And a lot of people are glad that there is a kind of reconciliation right now. The PDP, which is good for a democratic, system. So, how would you assess the PDP's decision to zone the 2027 presidential ticket to the south, while retaining northern leadership roles? What implication does this have for the PDP?
Well, first and foremost, if you look at the congratulatory messages and goodwill messages that have been flooding the timelines of our various social media handles, you understand that it was the right step to go and the right thing to have been done in a time like this. The mood of the country favors or swings towards the south at this material time. And the northern leadership of the party and the membership of the party saw reasons to go with their southern colleagues within the PDP to say guys, we made a mistake in the 2023 when we said we should have given you guys a slot. So let's allow this thing to flow, so that we don't have we don't have our hands on each other's neck every now and then. And if you look at that neck hall the other day, I guess your correspondents were there. The spirit of camaraderie with which these issues were resolved tells that the PDP has not only made progress in terms of healing within its ranks, it has gone ahead further to position itself as the alternative bride for Nigerians to look towards for credible and alternative, better leadership and governance. So we are not saying we are perfect. No institution on earth is perfect, but near perfection can be attained at all times. And that is the goal of the PDP, that we can present a robust platform where candidates will be sure that their mandates will get value in addition to their own selves. And the Nigerian voting public will be confident that the platform they are voting in has the requisite ingredients and requirements to add value to their lives should they entrust such platform with governance that oversee their affairs. So it's a welcome step, and we believe that better days ahead for us all.
Now, from what you said, if I can pick from what you said, because of the mistake that was made in 2023,
yes,
that's one of the reasons why you are zoning the presidency to the south now. And today, the ADC are criticizing that move, saying that you are forfeiting merit for zoning. How would you respond to that?
Well, the ADC has its own agenda. The PDP has its own agenda. What we discuss what Abraham and his family will have for breakfast or dinner must not necessarily be what Samson and Paul will have in their houses. What is important is that we are able to produce a candidate who ticks all the boxes and all the indices for a fit and proper Nigerian capable of lifting Nigeria out of the woods. One thing we all agree is that Nigeria needs rescuing. We all agree that Nigeria needs rebuilding. We all agree that Nigeria needs to restore herself to our glory days and surpass it. So therefore, what's important is not how the route you take to the market. Is the commodity you go to buy or you get to buy from the market that's going to be valuable when you get home. Again, when we talk about route, it must be credible and it must be seen to be meeting all facets of scrutiny, and it passes it, and legitimately so. So when we talk about zoning, for me personally, I'm not big on nepotic or ethnic lines, because I believe capacity resides in the 774 local governments of Nigeria. But again, for political correctness and all of this, people choose to say by convention. It's not as if it's constitutionally enshrined. By convention, we can say, oh, let Madam Oyeyemi be our leader for 6 months. Let Oga Fisayo or Bukayo follow through for the next 6 months. So long as it's agreeable and there's no undertones to it, I believe it is good.
Timothy, thank you. I don't know how many women will agree with you that the route to the market doesn't matter. It does matter because
they will have to
if you follow the wrong route, you know what?
You spend more time.
Yeah, you spend more time, and you probably so anyway. That's just by the way. But let's go to Uganda before we even bring in Dr. Hamisu. Dr. Sakariao, I'm coming over to you. First of all, I mean, did this come as a surprise to you? The way and manner that the PDP apparently, so it appears, resolved the political debacle within its party. Would you say that the skies are clearer for the PDP now? All right, we will try and establish audio connection with Dr. Sakariao, who is of the Department of Political Sciences, joining us via Zoom all the way from Uganda. So, but let's come back home. Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu is a familiar face with us, political scientist and public affairs analyst. And I'll put the same question to you, Dr. Hamisu. I'm just wondering if you are surprised that the PDP was able to put its house in order with the confirmation of its national chairman as Damagu from the north, and then of course the zoning of its presidential slot to the south. Do you think the debacle is over?
Let me just try to make sense out of the question because the audio is re-echoing, so it's affecting our ability to decode the question you are trying to put across to us. But again, if I could pick from what I was able to pick from your question, it's about the zoning, right? That led to the zoning of the presidency to.
I'm saying, did it come? Are you surprised that the PDP was able to put its house in order in this manner? I mean, the national president chairman had been confirmed. That's Damagun. The zoning had been done to the south. So, does this sort out all the internal crises, all the issues that they have? The sky is clearer for the party now.
Still, the audio is not really good. I can't really get the question, but if I could guess, it's about the yeah. So it's about what PDP was able to accomplish. You see, it is not surprising that PDP was able to achieve what it achieved because the major tendencies that continue to tear the party apart, majority of whom decided to leave the party for the opposition ADC, and leaving the party to those that are not willing to leave the party. So zoning the executive positions within the party was made easier by the exit of the many tendencies that would have torn the party apart or that would have kept the rift alive. So it is not really surprising. Assuming if you have those big weights in the party, as it were, they will not be able to achieve what they've achieved. So the party is left for those that feel that they don't have any place to go apart from the PDP. So it was easy for them to sit and then take a decision when they don't really have somebody like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that is equally looking for every opportunity to contest in the forthcoming election. So it was easy to do that.
Thank you, Dr. Hamisu, for your remarks there. I mean, just like he said the exit of the big guns in the party made it easy for the party to be able to resolve its crisis. Probably let's go back to you, our Zoom guest. That's Dr. Rauf from Uganda. We just want to get your take on this PDP zoning and how they have been able to resolve the crisis. How would you assess the decision of the PDP?
It is a calculative attempt by the party in order to ensure its survival. And when you look at the nature of our political culture in Nigeria, it tends towards some element of, parochial tendency. What I mean by that is that PDP felt that in the last general election, 2023, a northern candidate was fielded and they could not achieve results. And don't forget, there are some other big wins within the party that are of the view that presidential election or presidency should be zoned to the south in order to ensure that at least the south completes 8 years. And when you look at the permutation ongoing, particularly based on some of the rumors within the political circle about the former Labour Party candidate in person of Peter Obi and the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that PDP felt those two big wins could be easily convinced. We can convince them, lure them back to the party, and there might be tendency, or there might be some, acceptance from the people towards ensuring that PDP is also considered. And for PDP to remain a vibrant opposition, I think the issue of zoning has also placed the party on a good line of, tracking whatever APC is doing. And it has also placed the party to become a notable ADC. ADC has been working towards pulling or pushing PDP backward. So basically, the zoning arrangement is not surprising when we understand that Nigeria's political culture has always been about, some level of parochial sentiment, which I think PDP is also trying to appeal to sentiment of electorates for people not to lose hope entirely on PDP. That has been one of the major factors which I would consider why the issue of zoning to the south is necessary for the party. So that is my take on that.
All right, thank you. We'll come back to you. Thank you. And we thank the skies, too, for making your audio clearer. I do hope that Dr. Hamisu, too, when we come back to you, we will have clear audio with you. But let's come back to the studio to speak with the PDP National Youth Leader. Again, commendations on the process, so far is coming in for the PDP, like you rightly said. But there's also something, that is brewing. The Joint Action Committee of the Northern Youth Leaders have also have protested what it's called, the zoning. According to them, it's unjust, undemocratic. It's a betrayal of the North, and a calculated attempt to marginalize those, big wigs, PDP big wigs from the North from contesting in 2027. So how do you evaluate this?
Well, someone once said,
they are your youth leaders as well. They are your members.
I said someone once said, if you are on a journey and you stop to listen to every dog that barks on the road, you may never get to where you are going to. Now that if you do common background check, I'm sure that name, your joint, I don't know what you called it just now, that name only suffices.
The Coalition of Northern Youth Leaders.
I'm coming now. I'm surprised. I say if you do common background check, you will see that 2 months ago there was no coalition like that, or even 2 weeks ago. So all these are stage managed and...
so they are not your members?
I don't know them, honestly. I don't know them. Anybody can be a youth leader. Even you can be a president in your house. If I call myself the mayor of New York, I have a right to speech, but it doesn't necessarily mean I am the mayor of New York. So I think what they were doing is an overreach in a process that they have nothing to influence and do anything about. See, the truth is this. Political parties have their own ideologies, have their own strategies, and have their own ways. That is why it is called democracy. If there are the myriads of over 20 registered political parties in this country, it's not a must it must be in PDP. It's not a must it must be in ABGA. It's not a must it must be in Labour Party. What is important is that you engage yourself in the political space and find a vehicle amongst all of this that best aligns with your interest and move forward. Like we said, in the overall best interest of the party and the country, whose mood tends to favor a Southern presidency. Those youth leaders, they are not, I'm not sure they are more important to the party than the 19 Northern youth leaders that are members of the party.
But do you find...
I'm coming, please.
Just a moment. Do you find their position, their argument, the argument that they have put forward, do you find any sense in what they have said? Because they have talked about the tenure between 1999 and 2015, and the tenure between Umar Yar'Adua and Jonathan, and said, look, this is not fair. The North has not had a fair share.
The truth is this: the argument is neither here nor there. If we want to start saying 1990 date, what happened to 1960 date? It's still one Nigeria. It's still one Nigeria. So we cannot choose and pick when it suits us. Again, deep appreciation goes to the northern leadership of the political party in PDP that says, let our southern brothers go and roll for the next 4 years. They could have put up a fight, no jokes, but in their wisdom and with all graciousness, they have said, let our brothers from the south sit on the table or give a shot at the seat of power. So for me, that is something that we Southerners or the Southerners should not take for granted. The onus upon the South, having been given this opportunity by the Northern leadership of the party, is to present a credible candidate that will be marketable and will be worth the while for both the Southerners and the Northerners to say, we didn't make a mistake in giving these our brothers an opportunity to go for power.
You don't see this as one of the drawbacks that may affect PDP prospect in the 2027 elections?
When you say drawbacks, what are the indices that favors that?
He has already said they're not members of the PDP.
No, I mean,
so
okay. What about other factors that you think may affect the prospect of PDP?
Well, the only thing I think will affect the PDP may be the weaponized hunger in the land, where people cannot look at 10,000 naira and a bag of rice or fertilizer and say no. If the alleged complicity of INEC, if we have an electoral reform and we have a neutral and impartial INEC, there's no way PDP will not win the next general elections.
Okay, let's stay with you, and I'm very excited to be talking about the prospects and what actually fragmented the PDP during the last election was this issue of zoning and zoning interest, and that was why you had the G5. Because the zoning was not given to the North, I'm sure you know, or was not given to the South, I'm sure you know. And then, as a result, PDP lost a lot of states. Southeast, for instance, which used to be, the home of the PDP, even some states in the South. So do you think this position that the PDP has taken, is it likely to win back states like the Southeast that were originally PDP, stronghold?
Well, I am a Christian. I recall in my Bible, which is a holy book, that the kingdom of our Lord Jesus Christ and God suffered violence, and a lot of angels were cast down to earth. So, if it could happen in heaven, who are we mere mortals not to have disagreements amongst ourselves? If our Creator could not even manage his angels in heaven, what is important is that I'm coming. I'm coming now. You asked me a question.
Yes, just hold on.
Allow me to answer now.
Please hold on. You say when you talked about our Creator, said if we could not manage.
I'm coming now. But was it recorded that there was disagreement and angels were cast down? It's on record. I didn't write the Bible.
Let's not go.
So I'm coming now. I'm coming. What I'm trying to say is this. If at such high celestial level it was perceived or alleged that there was an issue. We mere mortals are allowed to also have issues. Then he sent his son to make atonement and bring second chance. That is why PDP is also having the second chance to say, let's reconcile, let's make amends, let's move forward, let's put our past behind us, let's build on what we have. It's allowed. It is when you disagree and you don't have room and you don't create room to agree, that is when that relationship must end. Even in a civil relationship or a civil union, there must be agreement between the man and the wife. It is the maturity and the counseling that comes in that says, no, come on, look, we have come this far. We can't just walk back. Look at the kids. Look at this, look at this, look at this. What's at stake? That is the situation PDP is. PDP was divided by interest 2019, 2023, and even 2015. But we have sat down, taken a look at it and said, what do we do? We need to put our best foot forward. The graciousness of our northern brothers was like, okay, we'll concede this to you, our brothers. Now, the onus is now on us to now say, oh, thank you for conceding to us. Now, it's not for us to go to a Ubeni market or a Kimbo market or another market to say we want to look for just anybody. We must look for somebody that fits the national profile, somebody that fits the bill, somebody that has a track record, credibility, capacity, and character, and say, Nigerians, behold our candidates, and who must emerge through a process devoid of anything that you now say, that is it. So that is the kind of process we are at.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Mr. Osadola, for that. I think we have our Zoom guest, Dr. Hamisu, back now. Dr. Hamisu, we are looking at the reconciliation method adopted by the PDP to get to where they are now. How would you, evaluate the PDP's handling of internal crisis? At their last meeting, instead of imposing sanctions, they have chosen the path of reconciliation. How would you, what's your take on that?
Well, you see, I want to congratulate the PDP for being able to do the little it is able to do. But it is equally shameful that as one of the dominant parties that we have in this country from 1999 to date, that it was not able to understand conflict and manage it effectively to the extent that they could lose election because of people could not manage their ego, their interest. We all know that democracy and party politics is about interest. But as a dominant party that won election in 1999 and piloted the affairs of this nation until 2015, it is really, really disheartening that after losing power once, PDP fizzled away. It could not play the role of the opposition that is supposed to play, and it was engulfed in crisis. It means that any party that cannot even manage itself cannot manage the affairs of the people. So this is just the truth of the matter, because this larger society is about conflicting interests. It's about application of this particular interest. It's about tampering of this interest in their furies. And then the PDP could not do all of this internally. And you remember, this problem started when the PDP was treating majority of their challenges as a family affairs, where you're not allowed to voice out opposition to it. And what people don't understand is even in China, where we have one party, we have opposing tendencies. And these are the tendencies in the Chinese Communist Party. You have the hardliners. These are the people that believe in the doctrine of Mao Zedong. They believe in the principle of communism. And then you have the Dengists. These are tendencies that believe in a little liberalism, tempering communism with liberalism. So these opposing tendencies are the tendencies that are governing China. They are able to reconcile their differences within the party, and they're able to contest the election and win. So, and they're able to govern China successfully. Now, coming to PDP, as a party that has been in power, we thought that the PDP would have evolved mechanisms for resolving their own internal conflict. If they cannot really resolve their own internal conflict, how are we sure that they are going to resolve the myriad of conflict that are bedeviling Nigeria? And that is why I'm saying that it is better late than never. We are congratulating them to do what they did, but at the expense of the party, because the majority of the people that would have contributed to the party have left the party. So the party is rebuilding again, just like the ADC, which is not good for our democracy. We need a very strong opposition, and the only party that can play that opposition is supposed to be the PDP. But the PDP could not even manage its own internal affairs. And this is where we are, as if we don't have any opposition. Almost how many governors have the PDP lost to APC? How many? So we're saying that the PDP, honestly, the PDP have not done enough.
Mr. Thank you. Please, we'll come back to you, but let's see if we can get Dr. Rauf again on the line. Dr. Rauf, I'm just wondering, Demola asked Timothy a question earlier on about what the ADC criticism is all about, because we read, one of the dailies this morning that the ADC is criticizing the decision of the PDP and describing it as insensitive to the people, to the plight of the people. But let me ask you, what do you think is the objective of this decision, of this zoning, and all that? Is it really in the interest of the Nigerian people, or is it just to knock out, just to see if they can get at the APC?
Yeah, thank you. Like I've said earlier on, when I was trying to emphasize on largely the political culture of Nigerians. And when you look at what PDP has done, of course, like what my colleague just said, and the man in the studio, our brother, is about interest. And when you talk about politics revolves around interest articulation and interest aggregation. So to me, PDP haven't realized the fact that they were unable to play to the game as expected, being one of the major political parties that is even expected to, challenge APC in some of its activities. But because of the internal issues PDP face, they lost a lot of their members to ADC. Some of them also joined APC. But one thing we should not forget is that when we are looking at party ideology, what PDP fails to actually implement is about the ideological differences among members. Because when you mix up party ideology with individuals' ideological differences, then there will be a problem. Like Abdurrahman was mentioning the issue of China, talking about communism and the other side of the game. But when you look at PDP as a party, it will not manage itself because ideologically it is built on some personalities. And when you have party personalities, against party ideology, such conflict is inevitable. It is expected. But the zoning is a very good, approach for PDP, and it is a way of trying to bounce the party back when it comes to the political permutation towards 2027. So for that to have been able to be done easily, I think PDP is trying to revive its lost glory. Nevertheless, the mission, the rationale behind the zoning, we all understand the fact that there are some big wins within PDP, some of them maybe possibly working for the ruling party, some insisting that you should allow the zoning arrangements to continue because they've tried northern candidates in the last election, then they are now trying to swing, considering southern candidates. So it is all about permutation, it is all about trying to play politics, it is about interest. But the interest of PDP should not jeopardize the larger interest of the society, meaning they should not allow individuals' personal differences to overweigh or to outweigh the party's ideology. And I'm very happy when I listened to the speech of the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, when he said him as a person is ready to sacrifice his ambition, his presidential ambition for a southern candidate to emerge. That is a very good, move PDP has done. And with that, there is every tendency PDP can challenge APC come 2027. We should not forget the fact that when we talk about party politics in Nigeria, it revolves around party structures. And you cannot take it away from PDP that it still maintains its structure nationwide. PDP is still a party with a national outlook, and they still control some numbers of governors. So to me, ADC, of course, is coming up trying to challenge PDP and APC. But when you look at the party arrangement, when you look at the politicking in Nigeria, which is about giving the structure to the governor, PDP still have a better edge. Nevertheless, it is good for our democracy because we are in a multi-party arrangement whereby we are expecting some of those dilemma. So to me, it is a welcome ideology. PDP zoning it to South. We also make the party to have a focus, and those that are interested in the party should be able to know the direction henceforth. Nevertheless, they have lost a lot of big wins. They have actually played to the gallery, but PDP still remain formidable, and it is one of the parties that is expected to challenge APC come 2027.
Dr. Rao, thank you. Just to again, emphasize our reach out number. Please, you can send in your comments on this number via WhatsApp 081-696-88126, and the number is out there. It's on the screen again. 081-696-88126.
Okay.
Let me. I wanted Dr. Amisu.
Yes,
to
I wanted
do a
to,
follow-up.
I wanted to ask Dr. Amisu, because he seemed not to agree with the reconciliation method of the PDP. But what steps do you think PDP can take actually to strengthen the internal unity and cohesion, especially in the light of the upcoming convention in Ibadan in November?
You see, you don't just allow your members to exit the party and then you come and sit and zone and you feel that you've reconciled your aggrieved members. That is not reconciliation. Reconciliation happens when two people quarreled and they're still within the same household and you are able to sort out your differences. Not when the other party to the conflict are left in their droves, and then you now say that you are reconciling after losing how many governors? This is the question. This is secondly, any party that does not respect boundaries set by itself is bound to fail, just the way PDP has been grappling with a lot of challenges. It is even disingenuous for PDP to tell us that they are zoning today. PDP killed zoning in 2011. You see, when you have a party that dilly-dally, that photo to big names, to powerful individuals, then that party stands for nothing because it has no boundary. It will not respect any boundary. In 2011, what led to the internal crisis that culminated in the defeat of PDP in 2015 was whether former President Jonathan was eligible to contest based on the principle of zoning or not. PDP introduced zoning to this country. It is something that we're against, but we feel that, okay, if that was going to lead to peace, no problem. But PDP could not even stick to its own rules. PDP continued to shift rules, shift boundaries, just to accommodate powerful individuals, and then the outcome is what they are grappling with today. So my advice going forward is one. Once the party has a constitution and there are penalties, sanctions, reward systems that have been enshrined in the constitution, the party should uphold it against anybody, whoever it is, however powerful or less powerful the person is. If PDP cannot do this, then it will continue to grapple with crisis. And you know what will happen? They will not be able to resolve the crisis because the principle governing PDP is that it respects those that are powerful, the men of the moment. But you don't build a party around the men of the moment, and that is why once some persons win election under the PDP, since PDP became an opposition party, they can jump ship easily, and nothing will happen. And that is why you have a sitting minister that is PDP in the night, and then APC in the afternoon. No any sane country, party will condone that. So we should get these things clear. It's either you want to run a party or don't want to run a party, even in your household. If you set rules and regulations that you are not abiding by, as the person that set it, you're not applying it to yourself, you're not applying to the woman in the house, and then you want to apply it to the kids, no, they will revolt. They will point it out to you. That is exactly the point. So for PDP to regain the trust of the people, to be able to become formidable as it used to be, then it must hold itself and its members accountable. But if it continues in the direction that the major financiers, the big names, can control the party and they can just tear the party and share it like a cake, I bet you, no matter the reconciliation, PDP was not going to make any significant impact going into this election. This I can bet.
Thank you. Before we come back to Timothy here, he has quite a number of issues to respond to that has been there. So I know the PDP has also extended a handshake to those people that you mentioned. Those who were alleged to have the anti-party people that you alleged. PDP has said, look, we forgive you. I want you to speak to that, because that means, it's a level playing ground for everyone. And then Dr. Ralph talked about PDP having, structures. If you look at what has happened, over the years, yes, at a time PDP was a very dominant party. It was, in fact, it was the largest party, in Africa at a time. But today, how many states does the PDP have? How many state governors does the PDP have? How many members in the National Assembly does the PDP have? Do you think the PDP still has that structure, that will, stand the test of time in 2027?
Thank you very much for your insightful question. You see, it all depends on what we are defining as a structure. The PDP that I know and that I currently know is a PDP that is built around individuals. It has been like that since 1999. PDP has never built a party structure. PDP was built around individuals and is still built around individuals. And then, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and the subsequent president, including former President Goodluck Jonathan, all of them built PDP around individuals. And the major individuals that they build PDP around is always the state governors. The state governors are always very powerful. And then if you remove the state governors from PDP, even in APC today, it's still the same thing. So let us not even say it is a PDP thing. It's not even a PDP thing. It's a Nigerian brand of democracy that has never built a party. So the party is a platform where people come together to congregate and to snatch power and to share power, and then go further to assess our national treasury, and then to share our resources. So if you look at the party we have in Nigeria and the ANC in South Africa, you can't compare both. The ANC in South Africa was bigger than Mandela, was bigger than Thabo Mbeki, was bigger than all the former presidents combined. That is not the case in Nigeria. The Communist Party in China is bigger than everybody. I don't want to mention America, because if you go to America, the two parties there, which is the Republican and the Democratic Party, they are greater than, but in Nigeria, and that is why I am saying that PDP is only joking, because the big wigs in Nigeria, this is how it used to play out. Now, from the world level, where the Congress is going to take place, to elect the leaders, which is going to man the local government and the ward structure, controlled by a big man that finance equally, including the purchase of the farms. Then you come to the state ESCOs. These big men control the state ESCOs. As it is now, in PDP state, it's the PDP governors that are controlling the ESCOs from the ward level through the local government to the state level. So that if today I want to contest election and my governor doesn't like me, I will not get that very particular ticket. So if that is the case, I left the party, then you search, you zone, and then you now ask me to come back when I know that I'm disadvantaged. I will not be able to control the structures from ward through local government to state level. Who will take that if you are a practical politician that understands the way these things work? If, assuming we are able to build parties the way countries are building parties, where parties are supreme and they are greater than an individual, it is an aggregation of thoughts that you either conform to or you leave, then there will be that stability that the PDP is looking for. That is what is even killing ADC today. Almost all the people that congregated in ADC is either they want to become the presidential flag bearer, or they want to become the vice presidential candidate of the big wigs. And that is why up to today, they cannot play the role that APC played, leading to the defeat of the PDP. So the PDP in 2015. So if the two parties we are talking about today, the PDP and the ADC, want to become formidable, it means they have to build the party and they have to ensure that no single individual is dominating. Without that, the ADC will face the same problem that PDP is facing now, which was what the APC was able to do going into 2015 election, where almost all the actors came together and agreed that all we need to do is to chase PDP out of power. Despite a lot of them never liked Buhari, they knew that Buhari had 12 million votes constantly, and they nominated him, and he assisted to defeat PDP. Until they are able to do that, I bet you it's going to be another noise as we go into 2027, I mean.
Very much, Dr. Hamisu, for that, your remark there. Osadolo, you've been listening to the various comments by the other guest, the issue of party supremacy and, not wielding the party around individuals, and the issue of discipline. You remember that in the First and Second Republic in Nigeria, the party was supreme, not built around individuals, just like he noted. So what exactly is the problem that we have? What are the challenges that we're facing right now?
Unless we don't want to be sincere or truthful to ourselves, you are saying parties are built around individuals. Will you build parties around firewood? You will not build parties around firewood now. You're going to build parties around people. It's people that are going to populate the parties. It's people, even if you're going to say, let this party have a structure devoid of this big man, it's still individuals that will be those that will create that structure. At the end of the day, I have always said it time and time again.
And what he's saying is that
I'm coming. I heard him loud.
If the party is built around individuals, it will be difficult to instill discipline.
I'm still coming there. Nigerians have a culture that is not promoting democracy. I challenge any Nigerian that's a member of any political party, even elected officers of any political party, to say, I have subscribed to my monthly membership dues in the last 1 year, or in the last 6 months, or in the last 2 months. Political parties will not run on goodwill messages. The political parties will be funded, needs funding for its processes and its workers and its activities. Let's make no mistake, I'm not making an excuse for PDP or anybody. I'm saying we as Nigerians must seize our processes. We must seize our parties, and we must seize the processes that produce those that govern us. If a man pays 50 naira or 100 naira or even 10 kobo, as the case may be, as his monthly dues in his ward meetings or in his local government meetings and all of that. He has a voice to say, what are you doing with my money, or what are you doing with our ticket, or what are you doing with our mandates? Again, I don't say because I'm PDP, I'm not aware that people buy forms for people, or people wait for people to come and pay for them. It's a wrong mentality that must be disabused, not only in PDP, but across all political parties in Nigeria. And all Nigerians that want to get involved in the political space must stand up and take that responsibility upon themselves, not to be bought over, or not to be cajoled, or not to play second fiddle or a lackey to anybody. The truth is this: I'm not also saying that everybody has been bought over. It is not correct.
All right, it's not correct.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you, because you say political parties are built on individuals.
Around people.
Around people. And I'm asking, is that not the reason why, when those people fade, is that not the reason why PDP is having issues? Because actually, ideology provides a very sound and sustainable foundation for governance and stability for the party. If you build a party on ideology, it gives it an elasticity, a long elasticity. But if you build it on individuals, they're bound to fail. Is that not what is happening to PDP?
That is not what's happening to PDP. PDP is never built around one single or group of individuals. We have seen former president go and come. We have seen former vice.
So it doesn't have an ideology.
An ideology.
Yes, PDP is not based on an ideology.
Of course, it is.
Is that what you're saying?
Of course, it is. How have we survived all these years? How have we survived?
That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're not listening to me. You're listening to what you want to hear. What I'm saying is this. I'm sorry. No, sorry.
Hold on. No, I need to clarify that. Because, hold on, Tim.
You asked a question.
Hold on, Timothy.
Allow me respond.
Timothy, hold on. Timothy, hold on. No, let me clarify.
When you interject like
hold
this,
on.
the flow doesn't come.
Hold on. You said, I wanted you to clarify that. You said political parties are built.
You are interjecting it.
Wait, we're not quarreling.
No. Okay, go ahead.
And yes, it's just for the viewers to understand what we're saying. You said political parties are built on around individuals. And I'm saying clarify that for us.
Is that what I want to do now?
Because you say I'm asking you questions.
No, that's what, is that what I was responding to? When I say it's built around individuals, there is no time on earth where human beings will not be boots on the ground for any ideology to stand or to be propagated. That person must be an individual. But again, in the context of where you are saying elasticity, ideology, structures, and all of that, I agree with you. The only reason why we have remained standing as a political party for the past 25 years, the only party that has that history, is because it is not built or centered on one single individual or group of persons or anybody. There is an ideology that people key into in the 774 documents of this country that is people-oriented and people-based and believes that power should evolve by the people, from the people, and for the people. The ideology of the PDP, what stands it out from every other person, is that it is our property, not anybody's property. Okay. We believe that when we come into the PDP, it's about all of us, our collective interest, not a single individual's interest. That is why you see governors come and go. The party never dies because it is not the governor's property.
A collective interest.
It is not the president's property. It is our property.
Okay, Mr. Osadola.
Said something.
Wait. We have comments from our viewers.
Okay. Yes.
We will take the comments after this break because the director is calling for a break now.
Okay.
We have several comments and questions from our viewers.
No problem,
so when we return, we would ask you some of these questions. We'll take a break now. Stay with us.
Food security is national security. And where there is hunger, then the insecurity in that particular country will continue to remain. And so it is in everybody's interest, not just the government interest, but the private sector as well, to ensure that we have a very good agricultural policy that drives sustainable growth and then progress, of course, in its implementation. One of the things that we were doing and we stopped doing as a country is the operations of the storage facilities, the storage infrastructure, all the way to logistics, talking about farm mechanization, the vehicles that we need. The feeder routes, the construction of the feeder routes. The feeder routes are so called because they are not A-trunk roads. They are farmstead roads. I believe that if a considerable investment can go into the construction of feeder roads, then our machines, our transportation equipment would be a lot more efficient. There will be a lot of uptime, less downtime, and we will be able to, on good time, transport our produce from farm gate to either factory gate or market gate. Let us look at how we can make a dual use of our farm mechanization equipment so that when a tractor in the planting season takes a plow, a harrow, and it's able to prepare land, during the harvest and post-harvest season, you should be able to attach a bucket to that tractor to be able to take it to the nearest center where it can then be taken on. These are short and medium-term measures that we can take to boost productivity. We need to ensure that agriculture is practiced in the most acceptable and modern way possible. We need to make sure that the science of agriculture is indeed science. In other words, we are able to apply methods, we are able to apply resources into grain agriculture so that when we are fully migrated away from hoes and cutlasses and all of these menial tasks, which, by the way, have formed some impression in the mind of these young people, they would then be able to see how enjoyable and how profitable agriculture can be. We've seen a lot of digitization of the sector. There is digitization of agriculture today. We have precision agriculture. We also have climate smart agriculture. All of these, of course, hydroponics, greenhouse agriculture, and all of these are actually a better way, a more excellent way of producing food in an organic manner, but a lot more smartly.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. And our discussion is still on the resolution of the PDP's meeting, the recent meeting. So we have our guests. Our guests are still with us, but we have some comments and questions from some of our viewers, which we would like to read out for our guests to respond to. The first one is from Joseph in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. It says, good morning to our Honorable Deputy National Youth Leader in the studio. My question to you, when does the PDP plan to commence party registration for new members? The PDP may have orchestrated its own problems. However, it is still a viable political platform any day. Now, the second one says, this is from Charles Ikechukwu from Aniocha North Delta. It says, PDP did well during the periods of his reign. APC has equally done well, but because of the type of our politics, opposition anywhere fights a hard battle. In any democracy, it is the best party that wins. Good luck to the best party to win. Then this one, the third one, before you respond to this question, and Claire will read his own. This one says, PDP has lost its ideology. This is from Rabiu Gimba Igiko from Kogi State. It says, PDP has lost its ideology. It stands a better chance to be a strong opposition, but rather the party was engulfed with crisis because of its selfish interest, egoism, and lack of respect for party constitution. Consequently, if they do not stand firmly, other party would take their position. On zoning system, Their strategy has failed to balance the imbalance. Their calculations may not see the light of the day because it lacks due consultations before taking decisions. I'd like to respond to some of this before she reads her own.
Well, first, let me start from Joseph in Uyo, who spoke about when the registration of new members will start in PDP.
Yeah.
Well, there's no bar, so to speak, on a registration of members. If he goes to the nearest ward office or where they do their nearest ward meetings, there's a register open there.
Okay.
He can register now, and become a member. All politics is local. So you don't need permission from Abuja or from Uyo, the state capital. Even if you're in the state capital, you must be in a local government there or in a ward or in the streets there. There's an office there. Identify that office and register. Membership is continuous. For my brother that spoke from Delta that talked about best political parties winning, I think Charles was his name there.
Charles.
Yes, that was the name. Yeah. Yes, the best political parties will win on the strength of their ideologies and what they choose to offer Nigerians and the candidate they present before Nigerians. And again, I also thank you for the kind words, for remembering what the good things the PDP is capable of doing and will still do. But again, the truth is this. It's beyond best parties winning. It's about looking out for the candidates now that can truly take Nigeria out of the woods. If that candidate is going to be from the PDP, support him. If it's going to be from ADC or ABGA or Labour, support him. But what Nigeria needs now is not just anybody. It's someone that has his head on his shoulders, has age on his side, and has the requisite mentality to lead Nigeria out of the woods. I think that is what the PDP wants to do to get it right for Nigerians. Then for our last speaker who said we lost the ideology and all of that, and the reconciliations are a bit coming too late with his own and all of that, it's not, he's entitled to the opinion, but let him watch what the PDP is going to do the next few days. I believe that what is important is when you realize you've made a mistake, is to correct it and go and move in the right direction. Because no matter how fast you go, if you are driving towards Lagos with the intention of going to Kaduna, you will never get there. So when you realize you're on the wrong route and you start going towards your right route, that is the surest way to go. So I thank you for still keeping faith and monitoring us, but we will not disappoint him.
All right, that's well said, Timothy. Let me start from the last comment that just came in, and it's from Imoge Peter. He said, I'm sincerely glad that NTA brought this topic, the fallout of PDP NEC meeting. Zoning presidential ticket to the south is the best idea. ADC, as a matter of fact, should follow the same route rather than criticize the PDP. That's from Imoge Peter. And Nare Daniel says the problem in the Nigerian political system today is not only on party supremacy or structure, but failed institutions that have been hijacked. And Nare Daniel. And this one is from Jack Abba Makrudi. He says PDP's decision to zone its presidency to the south, from the look of things, seem to have failed due to lack of wide consultations. It has rather ignited more distrust among members, more so that it is also against their internal constitution. Two things he has said: wide consultations and your internal constitution. The decision at the last 102 NEC meeting have failed, having met a bigger brick wall that, if not curbed now, may extinct all the remaining trust and kill the party dead. That's Jack Abba Makode, and this one is from Ojo Manson. Thank you, PDP. The mistakes of political money bags who do not listen to the masses will continue to haunt PDP and other political parties who see themselves as colossus. This is the first comment that actually came in. Honorable Toju Omo says, good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am Honorable Toju Omo. I firmly believe that zoning the presidential ticket to the south is the best decision for the PDP, as it will strengthen unity, balance, and fairness within the party and the nation. Tim.
Well, for me, I want to appreciate those who have commended, but let me allay the fears of those who are criticizing, because you don't go after the sheep that is with you. So those ones that are lost, that you preach to converse back. You see, many Nigerians lost faith with the PDP in the past. So when you see comments like this, you are not perturbed. All you do is try to convince them otherwise, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, it is not about how far; it's about how well. If you are going to point A and you run in the direction of point B, you will never get to point A. We have realized most of these concerns that they have made, money bags, not sticking to rules and all of that. And that's why, if you listen closely to the speeches at the last 1 or 2 NEC, reconciliation, forgiveness, and all of that. But there was a caveat going forward. We will not tolerate any of this anymore, so that we can have a party that is run with discipline and integrity. Again, let's also not forget the fact that people, no matter how much an idea is, there must be somebody to be against it. That is why we have diverse opinions on every issue. That's why we have 2 sides to a coin. But again, I believe that with the conditions of things now, we are not only rebounding and rebuilding, we are going to reclaim power, because we are not just going to go about business as usual. We are going to present to Nigerians credible, competent, and capable character that's capable of taking Nigeria out of the woods. Because Nigeria truly does need rescuing and rebuilding. And the PDP has proven time and time again that it has that organic capacity. It has that innate capacity to surmount whatever hurdles before it. We have provided leadership in the past. Today, before, under the PDP last time in presidency, 200,000 naira was equivalent to 1 million CFA. Today, 15 million naira is just 5 million CFA. That will tell you how down the line we have gone. We grew this economy of this country to be the biggest in Africa. There was relative peace and stability for all Nigerians. Our currency had value. Our lives had value. One could drive from Morikoko in Warri straight to Karadamoda or to Safe in Zamfara without the fear of being kidnapped. That was under PDP's government before things deteriorated. So you see, when you look at the indices of performance in government, you put the security sector, the economic sector, and other social sectors in perspective. The PDP has still fared better. Today we talk about the celebration of today's government. We have removed subsidy. We are borrowing to cushion the effect of subsidy. It's an aberration. That is not an economic success. So therefore,
would PDP return subsidy if it comes into
this is not about, we are not going to return subsidy, but the money from subsidy, is it vanishing? So that is where we provide accountability, and that's where we show capacity. No, I'm coming, sir. If I give you money, we come to Federal Executive Committee Council meetings, there must be a progress report. If it's a business, you must talk to your managers or you must talk to your supervisors. There's this, see, what has happened is that state institutions have become more or less like service organizations where you patronize your friends, your allies, and your cronies. These are institutions that should be creating checks and balances. We are no longer producing institutions, we are producing strong men. And that's a bane that we tend to correct.
But Mr. Osadolo, these challenges that you are highlighting did not start with this administration. It started from 1999 to today. We've been having this issue of lack of transparency, accountability.
I agree.
If the other parties were here now, they would have
exactly. So
you cannot technically say
I'm not saying we are
like
saints.
The kidnapping actually started not in 10, I mean, it started way back.
Even if in the 60s there was, but what I'm saying is that it was in a manageable scale.
To argument now, but let's pause, because I want other guests also to respond to some of these comments.
Before there's a news flash that the Nigerian government delegation in Brazil takes a test direct commercial flight all the way from Brazil to Nigeria. I think that's via a local airline.
That's
so
beautiful.
Yeah, so I think that's beautiful.
That's commendable, right?
No, it's not the Nigerian government's initiative. It's a private sector driven issue. The truth is this. I'm coming, sir. we saw Nigeria Airways. A plane was rented and painted, and said Nigeria Airways. Billions were voted for it.
Okay, all
Where
right.
are those issues now?
Okay, all right. So just like I said, we want to bring in other guests
All
to
right.
comment on some of the questions that have been asked. Let me go to Dr. Hamisu now. This one says, good morning. I like what Dr. Hamisu is highlighting. The challenges is not only in PDP. All political parties are same. Their executives are handpicked by their state and national leaders. It's killing the politics at grassroots to the higher level. It's only in Nigeria that such things are happening, and the INEC, judiciary, and security agents are not helping the matters. Neither do have a blessed day. Dr. Hamisu, would you like to respond to some of these comments, please?
Can you come again? I did know it froze, so I couldn't pick the whole questions. If you can please take that.
Okay, this one is just highlighting the challenges, stating that most of the challenges is not only particular to PDP, but all political parties are all the same. Their executives are handpicked by their state and national leaders, and this is killing politics at grassroots to the higher levels. It's not only in Nigeria, but things like this happening probably in Africa, and that INEC, judiciary, and security agency are not helping matters.
Well, honestly, I'm having challenge with the audio here. I couldn't really pick the questions. Maybe my colleague Rauf should respond. I think I do get him better if he's speaking. Let him respond, and then I can take.
Okay, let's bring in Dr. Rauf to respond to Demola's question. Dr. Rauf, did you get the question? Demola, you want to?
Okay. Let me read it out again. Actually, it's from some of our guests. This one says it's highlighting the challenges. That is, the challenges that have been mentioned is not particular to PDP, but to all the political parties. They are all the same. That they handpicked their executives right from the state to the national and at the grassroots level. And it is killing politics, especially at the grassroots level. And INEC, judiciary, and security agency, they are not helping matters. This comment and the other comments that have been read, would you like to respond to them?
The comment is actually on point, and the person is trying to tell the difference between PDP, APC, or any other party. And that's down to the argument of Dr. Abdraman earlier on, when he's trying to do a comparative analysis, that most of those political parties in Nigeria, and that has to for me, what the comments or the person that sent that message was trying to highlight is similar to some of the arguments forward earlier. But the major challenge here, like what you have said, that the security agencies, the judiciary also not helping matters. Temporarily in Nigeria, judiciary, sometimes they have also been politicized. So that's why sometimes you cannot differentiate between politics and law. When judiciary has been politicized, having some internal crisis, people believe that money can buy you a court pronouncement. And Sultan of Sokoto, during the NBA conference recently, also emphasized that the judiciary is expected to be highly independent. Once judiciary that should be the last hope of a common man has compromised, then what will be the future of our democratization? So I actually concur that the judiciary, which is expected to be a kind of last resort to individuals that feel cheated or to any issues that be required to be settled, judiciary is also playing, into the hands of politicians, which has made our political circle, to have control, to be controlling even the so-called judiciary. in fact, some people feel judiciary is more or less a unit under our political system, like it is a department under the government that is in power, either APC, even when PDP was also in power. Meanwhile, on the issue of security, you know, what we see or what is obtainable these days is about regime security. You know, the security outlet or the security agencies, they have also failed to understand that national security should be the paramount. But what they are trying to secure is about the regime that actually appointed them into power. And when you are trying to play the game of regime security, then there is every tendency, there will be a high level of compromise, there will be a high level of politics within the security architecture. And when you look at when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came on board, he also fired most of the security architecture he met on ground. He came up with people he feels he can actually work with. So that's...
Dr. Ralph, I'm afraid we have to stop it at there. We are almost hitting our time. I'd like to appreciate you very much for joining us via Zoom all the way from Uganda. Dr. Ralph Sakariao is of the Department of Political Science, Islamic University in Uganda. We thank you and we look forward to having you back home. Thank you, Dr. Ralph.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. We also like to appreciate
we'll just go to
Dr.
Hamisu before we come to the studio. Let's get his own parting shots. Dr. Hamisu. Oh, okay. We don't have him,
right.
So we can come back.
Yeah,
to
so
the
we
studio.
can sign him off.
We wanted to have his parting shots so we can...
Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu, we do apologize. It's not our fault. It's not your fault. I think maybe the weather is affecting your audio. But thank you all the same. Your inputs were quite insightful. Political scientist and public affairs analyst, that's Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu. And of course, we'd like to say a very big thank you to the Deputy National Youth Leader of the People's Democratic Party. Yes. Okay.
Well, for my parting shot, Nigeria should keep hope alive. All hope is not lost. Though Nigeria has skipped 2026, we're all waiting for 2027. God will keep us alive. Let's believe that not only the PDP will survive, Nigeria will survive. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will survive. We will survive. There used to be a song by Vino Morehai.
Yeah.
Yes, Nigeria go survive, and we have survived indeed. Thank you very much, team, for your time. All right. So and that's Good Morning Nigeria for today. I'll see you next week.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Ademola Adeoye. Thank you and have a lovely day.